speaking of animal cadavers, that experiment where the man sewed a dog onto another dog to see if it would live.
Yeah, right. We're talking about that.
The Russian.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, he had to sew half of the other dog. He had to sew a little dog onto a German Shepherd, and it was the little dog had its heart. So it was like his heart, lungs, one leg, and his face.
And that was inside the big dog's body?
It was like on the side of the big dog. So the dog had like two heads.
Oh, okay, so it was like half of the little dog's body?
Half
with
of
all that still in there?
Yeah, all that was sewn onto the German Shepherd. And he said it lived for 3 days. But one of the arteries, I guess during the process, one of them was damaged too much. It couldn't.
And both dogs died, or just the one that was attached?
I think both died.
Damn.
That was a long time ago. Imagine what they could do now.
Oh man, there's probably like 2-headed fucking people out there that are an army of 4-armed guys. You think it's ethical, unethical? What do you think about experiments like that?
I think if it's for the greater knowledge of humankind, I think I'm for it. If it saves lives, I'm for it. And if
the ends justify the means.
But yeah, I don't agree for makeup or for, just like
yeah, right. The shampoo.
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially if they're getting fucked up. Even I don't know. What do you think about for clothing or for food? I understand, but I mean, we don't need like real fur coats, right? It's not needed.
Mink,
right? And if the animal's going to waste, yeah, I'm not for that.
Yeah, I kind of just think it's all wrong. I don't think we have a right to. Not that we have a right, but yeah, I mean, I think animals suffer and feel pain, and so I don't think it's right for us to use them for. I think even for any means, even for like, it's gonna save human lives. Like, I don't think a human life is any more special than like an animal's life.
But how about millions of human lives or thousands of human lives?
Because I think like if they were going to test on humans, and the same thing, like they're going to suffer and it's going to be horrible, but it's going to save millions of lives, people would be against it. So, like, yeah, I don't think a human life is any more important than like a lizard, for example, or something. I mean, it's easy to say, but I guess if it was like my sister, obviously I value my family and my friends more than an ant on the ground or something.
A cat.
Or a
Patches.
I don't know. That's getting a little patches. Now you're just crossing a line. Yeah, see, cat lives. It goes cat, human, grouper, and then it gets a little muddy. Yeah, but I mean, I wear stuff that has animal stuff on it. I've eaten animal products, so like, obviously, I still like benefit off the exploitation of animals in some way.
No, yeah, we all do.
I do if I could stop it, like and the world keeps going somehow. Like, yeah, I would be for that.
So you would be opposed of all animal, like even like lab rats that just do mazes and stuff like that, or yeah, right? So you have to do it right, or it's all no good.
Yeah, it's all. I think it's all no good.
How about like how we always talk about just different animals? I mean, I guess that's. I mean, is that kind of like when they're experimenting with certain dogs to see how smart they are, or birds, or monkeys? Same with that.
I don't know. That's a good one. I mean, I've even had like the conundrum, like, is owning pets bad? Like, you're trapping this animal. If it, in its wild state, it could just be out and about doing its thing. But it can't. It's just there, bound by your rules because you want it. And
well, it depends on what kind of pet or what kind of animal.
I guess any animal, like dogs, cat. I guess really any animal. And like, I mean, I give my cats the best life I can, and I'm sure like loving pet owners exist and they live great lives. But I don't know if like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think a dog or cat, they're domestic, so I think they're made to be pets. There's not like wild dogs but yeah, I can see like, yeah, going and catching a wild, yeah, something in the wild. Like, yeah, you don't have the right to do that.
I just have a walrus in my back room. I have like the air conditioner on full blast. And
Right.
a kiddie pool.
A frog.
Frog.
Is that wrong? Get a frog from outside and keep it.
I don't know. Because if it's suffering or even if they're not suffering, I've heard people say, "Oh, it's still wrong. That's not its natural thing." But I mean, humans' natural thing isn't to be in a room with lights and
To be at a Walmart.
It's being at a Walmart.
Right? We're in a big.
Right when the afterlife, you just see a bright light and it's the entrance to Walmart. You're in a giant Walmart that never goes out of stock and never ends. That's heaven.
Super Walmart.
A super store. There's a Starbucks at every corner, and the corners never end.
So I was saying we are in an aquarium, and they're just keeping us happy with like, build them another Walmart.
They're right, like it's the equivalent of me putting a shiny rock in my fish tank. Just another Walmart. It's got a Subway inside. Yeah.
That is when you're right. We kind of are like in a aquarium or our own little.
You think we're God's pets?
Yeah, we're God's.
And every now and then he throws a little catnip in there, and we're like, oh.
Some catnip, a gym, right? Instead of the hamster wheel, throw a little gym in the corner.
Wheel. Butt plugs.
Some butt plugs.
Just keeps us entertained.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, for the greater good, I think experiment. But yeah, I think try and do it as humanely as you can. Like that show I was telling you about where they were trying to impregnate a chimpanzee with human semen. They were trying to make a humanzee.
I've been there. Humanzee. Yeah, that's insane. Like, if that was able to happen, like if they were able to succeed in doing it, man, like what?
According to that, it's been done.
You think that thing would have a soul? If you believe in souls?
If it came from a human, like, yeah, I think so, right? I mean, I think it would.
And what if that thing bred with a chimpanzee? And then that child bred with another chimpanzee? At what point would
Does it lose
know?
it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a good one. Or does it take two humans to make a? Yeah, I don't even know.
It takes two humans, right?
To make us a soul. But then, yeah, I guess you would have to see it. Like, yeah, I mean.
You could tell by the look in its eyes.
Well, yeah, I mean, it would just be interesting to see if it was more human or chimpanzee. Yeah, that would just be
just
weird,
how intelligent it'd be, right?
How intelligent, and
Could
yeah, if it
could
would
it learn a language if he started young, could it?
Right. Because then that didn't. In the documentary, they say that didn't work. So then they tried the other way, and they tried finding women who would take chimpanzee semen and give birth. Man, maybe that one's more of a. That one would have the soul, right? The mother, or maybe that would be different, right?
I think the mother's a more important part of the. I mean, just because you're in her, right? That's where you develop.
Mm-hmm. And it would be, that's the one raising you, right? Where the chimpanzee, the mother wouldn't be able to raise something with the soul, or would it?
I don't know. Or what if like we do it like seahorses? Like we'll get the egg and we'll put the sperm in it and get it fertilized, and then we put it in the dude, and the dude carries it full term.
Seahorses do that?
Yeah, the seahorses. I don't know how exactly like when it transfers or what, but the dude carries the babies. Eggs. Yeah, and he gets pregnant. But like I think the girl seahorse gets pregnant and then she transfers it into him and he holds it. Cause yeah, I'm sure it's still like sperm egg type of deal.
Yeah, I think so, right?
Maybe that's the secret.
right?
That's what they didn't try. They didn't try to put the egg in the dude.
But yeah, but this guy, yeah, it's a good documentary. Rise of the Apes. Something about humanity, and I mean, I guess they've done it with other animals like a horse and a zebra.
Yeah, there's
Tigers,
hybrids of stuff like that,
hybrids,
like a
yes.
mule. There's like a donkey and a horse. Now you were saying though, right? Like in the documentary that they said, was it that one where like if anything even came close, it kind of they would probably just put it down, or they put it down.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, so supposedly they did it, and that the guy says the egg was fertilized, and once they saw the egg started, or that the egg was fertilized and it was starting to grow, they killed it within 2 days. So they didn't let it develop. And then another guy was saying his professor said they actually grew one and they killed it after 2 weeks.
And so you're thinking they're still out there. They're
Oh
fucking
yeah,
lying,
they're
like-
still out there, right? If they did
They're-
it, it just keeps going to like a different.
No, the next one was 2 months. The next one was 2 years.
But I'm just saying, yeah, somebody with a higher up clearance comes and takes it. Like, all right, we're destroying this.
And he just keeps it in his back room.
Yeah, like the military has to be the top people with, right? They have like human chimpanzees working for them.
At the Starbucks at NASA, right?
Yeah, right. At Starbucks at NASA.
At the Walmart. Maybe even with like the liger, right? Like one of them, like, if I don't know what it is, like if the mom's the tiger and the dad's a lion, it's one, or if it's the other way around, but
A Tygon and
yeah,
a
one of them's the
liger.
liger, one of them's the Tygon, and the liger is bigger and it's like the biggest cat.
It's huge. It's hard to say that. I mean, it's crazy to imagine that it's way bigger than both the lion and the tiger. Like,
And tigers are big.
oh, but
A tiger is like before the liger. The tiger was like the biggest naturally occurring cat, right?
yeah, but the liger's like huge, like giant, right?
I've seen pictures of it, but it's hard to say how big it is. Like I've just seen
Oh,
it,
I've seen it near both tigers and lions, and it's like ridiculously huge.
like way bigger.
Way bigger.
Damn, that's weird.
That's so weird.
Why does it come out huge, right? Like,
But they say it's an animal that wouldn't really survive.
yeah, it's like, yeah, like tigers and lions have instincts. They have like already packs and.
And that this thing's
Yeah.
just too big to be a hunter.
Oh, okay, can't catch shit. It's
Can't
all
catch-
goofy and
He's all,
fucking,
yeah, he's all,
He's the only
bark.
cat that's fucking all slow and stupid.
but giant, like no other tigers taking him
Just
out.
a big dumb cat roaming the fucking savannah.
Like, what's the donkey and the horse? Because there's two, right? It's a mule and
Mule is one of them, and then the other one is
like a dincy or a hiney.
a hiney. Fuck
hiney.
yeah.
So the mule has the packing ability to hold
Of a donkey.
of the donkey, and then it's, I guess, a little smarter and easier to train like a horse, I guess. Because I
Okay.
guess donkeys are kind of stubborn.
Yeah, it has like the stereotype, right, that donkeys are stubborn.
Yeah, I think
animals.
so. So yeah, I think, but they're strong. So the mule's like a pack animal.
Yeah, so like, yeah, they say it's like better than a donkey or a horse to like use for like on a farm for work and stuff. Because yeah, you could pack and it's strong, but it has the endurance and the tameability and the temperament or whatever of a horse.
And then the other one's the hiney, and they say those aren't too good.
Those are pieces. It's if the mule has all the good qualities. The
hiney has all the bad.
All the bad ones, right? He's a fucking asshole.
They're assholes. They don't.
Gets tired real quick. It's hot.
What's the temperature? Oh no, I'm not doing that.
You don't have some like softer material so I could lay on.
I've got COVID, right?
Hey, can you spot me 20 until next week, man?
And you're like, I spotted you 20 last week.
Just until I get back on my feet.
Right, he has white all over his nose. Right?
Just a real scumbag. Like, fucking hiney. Oh, here comes this guy again. What's up, hiney? What's up, guys?
Trying to, right, do some back deals with all the other farm animals. Sucking dick in the shed.
Right, get your perfectly good mule hooked on crack. Like, oh, fucking asshole.
Yeah, because in that one I was watching, they said Stalin wanted to make a army of chimpanzee men that were smart like humans but strong like chimpanzees. And then somebody said, well, what happens if they're just human strength but then
As dumb as chimpanzee. Right? He comes out with the hiney of fucking humanzees.
right?
Oh, fuck. Spent millions making this dumb, weak idiot.
Right.
And it's weird because with those hybrids, like the mule, the hiney, the Tygon, the liger, all that, they're always sterile.
Are they?
Yeah, from what I've read, they're always sterile. So yeah, they can't mate even with like another liger or another hiney.
Man, yeah, because I was reading on that and I swear I saw a mule can mate, but maybe I'm wrong.
Really?
Maybe I'm wrong.
I wonder if they can mate with a horse or a donkey. I know like they can't produce fertile offspring, like a mule and another mule. I'm almost certain. Maybe mules can. Because mules have been around a while. Maybe they're starting to evolve. 'Cause, yeah, I think I've heard maybe that there's been some cases where they kind of get fertilized and something going on.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, yeah, they can't produce.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I wonder what else, because yeah, you do see. I saw a leopard, tiger.
Okay.
What else? The jaguar.
I've seen a jaguar and a lion, because I remember the name, the Jaglion.
Jaglion, yeah. And then there's even two small cats I've seen. Like a leopard and jaguar are pretty similar, huh? I think it's the region that separates them.
Yeah, right, like puma, leopard, or not puma, like, oh yeah, maybe puma.
Leopard and panther.
Panther, there you go.
Leopard, panther, and jaguar.
Yeah, so I'm sure they could probably mate, and it's natural.
Mountain lion. Dog, wolf. Man, and they said in that video or that documentary I was watching, they were saying how coyotes and wolves are doing it naturally. And
I've seen that. They're called coy wolves.
Coy wolves, yeah. I wonder if they're sterile.
I'm sure they are. What would the other version be called? Like a woyote?
Maybe he can catch the roadrunner, huh?
Damn. All right. The coy wolf. He's smart enough and strong enough.
Smart and big, yeah, right.
Because even cats, like I've seen, like where they can breed domestic cats with like servals or like some other crazy shit, and they come out with like those savannah cats or those crazy looking ones where it's like half.
I sent one to the shop the other day. What was it? Remember? Did you see it? It's like huge. It looks fucking sick, and it's the mix of a really big house cat and some kind of
And a really small house cat.
some kind of wild.
Yeah, it might be the savannah cat.
Savannas are wild animals.
Oh, it's like I think a savannah is like half. It's like half house cat and half something else.
Yeah, this wasn't a savannah. It was like bigger even.
Oh, okay. Whatever they're breeded with
Yeah.
to make this cat.
Yeah, this cat I'm talking about wasn't a savannah. It was bigger than a savannah, and it looked even cooler. And it was yeah, some kind of wild cat and a house cat.
It wasn't the.
Or maybe it was a savannah and a wild cat. Oh, but you're saying savannas would be sterile?
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, probably not, because I think you can have a wolf. I think a wolf dog can have puppies.
Really? I would think they'd be sterile.
You would think, yeah.
But I don't know. That's a good. Dogs and wolves can breed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There people sell wolf dogs, or you can
They
find.
don't just
wolf.
call them wolf dogs, and it's
No,
just
no,
an
yeah.
ugly ass dog or something.
No, they are wolf dogs. Yeah, yeah, they're huge. They look like wolves.
Damn.
You usually see them mated with German shepherds.
That makes sense. Damn, we should mate it with like a poodle. See what comes
A
out.
wolf and a poodle, right?
Just a little wolf that's vicious as fuck. They can't do much.
Yeah, so I guess you do see that a lot. I wonder if fish do that, or
Yeah, I wonder if those I'm sure they do. If like those hybrids happen naturally. Like, does a horse ever see a donkey and go, "Fuck, that looks good"? Just fuck it.
I'm sure they would in the right circumstances, right?
I'm sure most of those are like human. Like humans are like, all right, go like arranged marriages. I'm like, all right, so go ahead, fuck.
Yeah, because they wouldn't be around. They wouldn't.
Yeah, like a tiger and a lion have completely different habitats.
Yes, same. I don't think a donkey would be running around with horses, but obviously it's happening with the coyotes and wolves. I wonder if other bears would be able to.
Man, I swear I've seen polar bear, grizzly bear. Yeah, they can. I've seen offspring of grizzly bears and polar bears, and they're called growler bears.
Growler bears?
I have seen that. Yeah, and they're kind of big, like a polar bear or like a grizzly, but I don't know which one's bigger. Whichever one's bigger, they have like the size of it, but they have like the weird markings of both. Like they're half brown, half white.
Oh, cool. Pandas. Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't even think pandas are bears. I think they're like closer to like raccoons and other shit.
Koalas, or is that a whole separate thing? No, yeah, because
That's
a
a
koala has
marsupial.
has a pouch.
A koala bear.
Panda bear.
I think they're like, maybe they are in the bear family. I'm just full of shit. I remember hearing something where like they're actually closer to some other animal.
How about a fox? Is that more in the?
It's like a
dog,
canine, right?
Right, canine. That'd be cool, like a fox,
Half fox, half Loki.
right? Half wolf, half fox, half wolf. Cat? No way it'd be a fox and a cat.
Yeah, that's too far. Right. I saw one where it was a zebra and a donkey. Zebras and donkeys can mate. And they called it I remember they called it a zonkey. But I was watching a podcast and someone brought that animal up and they were like, why didn't they call it a Deborah? That would have been so much better. Huh?
That would be the other one, though.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, so the parents switched to be Deborah.
A Deborah or a zonkey?
Be down for the Deborah.
I'd want a zonkey.
Yeah, and we'll make them fight to the death and see who's the superior.
The Deborah's, right?
Yeah, how come a horse
And man, right? Like a centaur.
and man, the horseman, a centaur? No, I'm saying, like, how come a half horse, half donkey is called a mule and not a honky?
Right?
They messed up right there. That would have been the perfect name.
Horky. Honky, horky, mule. Right? Where does that come
Like,
from?
well, yeah, what's a mule?
How about with dolphins? You think there's all kinds of like...
I've seen that too. Certain species of dolphins can mate with killer whales.
Killer dolphins.
Killer dolphins. Yeah, but I've seen them and they look funny. Like they look like fat dolphins, like bloated. They look kind of
So yeah, there's some kind of human monkey somewhere.
right out there for sure. I think I've seen some actually when I go to Walmart.
Human chimpanzees.
I think your brother might have a little chimp in him.
How about? Do you think? I mean, yeah. You think we have that? You think that technology is out there to mix a human and, or you think that's too far?
Like a human and like a chimp? I don't know. It doesn't seem too far-fetched, but
If you had a guess, you think it's been done?
no.
No, you think something's.
But I think it doesn't
Been
seem
tried.
like too crazy of an idea.
It's definitely been.
So I've been fucking chimps for the last 2 weeks. So far,
But
zero.
for the benefit of science, all right.
I do this for you guys out there.
But never, ever do you think they can do like a human and a crocodile,
Oh, that'd be cool.
right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it'd be too far.
Too far?
It just wouldn't work. But I wonder if like we get good enough at genetics and stuff that we could just turn on and turn off little things in the genes, and maybe we can make it happen. Yeah, because we all share the same, not the same, but like the
Pretty
same
close,
basic,
right?
yeah, the same basic DNA sequence. It's really close.
Yeah, on that program they said they did a monkey, a small little monkey, and they gave it a human brain that
Damn, like Powerpuff Girls.
they messed with the DNA or with the I don't know they messed with it so that they gave it what our brain has and theirs is missing, and that it took and they said I think that's when they said they let the embryo live for like 2 days or something.
After 2 days, it wouldn't stop jacking off, so they had to kill it. And I wonder if you could even do like mate like a cricket and a grasshopper, or something. Because that's not mammals. That's like like not mammals. That's like a whole different thing.
Do they have semen?
I don't know. I'm sure they do. Right? How else would they? They have to have some type of like. I don't know.
Can you extract it? Yeah, you can. Jack off a little cricket.
That's my job. What do you do for a living? Yeah, I just jack off cockroaches all day. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wonder if they do it naturally. Like, do you think they would do that naturally?
I don't know.
Like different, like a bee and a wasp, or I think insects are really judgmental on other insects, huh? Like, right? Like they're really right. You see, like ants go to war. Same with like
With
bees.
other ants, right?
They know, right? You don't see you'll never see a.
No, they're loyal to the cause.
You'll never see a red ant with a black ant, right?
Hanging out.
A fire ant hanging out with.
A scorpion and a tarantula just enjoying the sunset.
Yeah, you never see that.
Yeah, right. Insects are pieces of shit. They're real racist. Real
Butterfly and
speciesist.
moth, you know, right? Everybody
Right.
sticks. They definitely stick to their own. In that documentary, there was this lady that lived in Cuba, and she was the only person to ever successfully breed chimpanzees in captivity.
Oh shit!
So they were,
really?
yeah. So they were asking her for help, and then the Ku Klux Klan told her she better not help.
The Ku Klux Klan. Damn, this goes deep.
Oh, it goes really deep. Even Hitler's in this.
Turns out he was actually breeding super monkey men, but they weren't the Aryan race, so he ended it.
He was using orangutans.
Ah, redhead. I could see that.
At the end, there's even some Chinese guy that they sent to prison because supposedly he helped manipulate 2 twin girls. He made them immune to the AIDS virus. And supposedly they were born and living life, but he didn't tell where they were. And then he said he had another girl pregnant at the time, and one more was just fertilized, and they were waiting to see if she was pregnant. And he didn't say what he messed with in their kids.
Damn. Wonder how you give him AIDS.
Or he just made him immune to, or they wouldn't be able to get AIDS. So yeah, I don't know how.
Does he like inject him with AIDS and then just see what happens? Or
Yeah, right. I didn't know. Yeah, and of all things, why
calls
that?
his HIV positive friend Paul to come over and
What's your superpower? Right? You think it'd be something cooler, right?
I could fly. I could turn invisible. I can't get AIDS.
Yeah, if you can mess with anything, why mess with that? Right?
Like, what was this guy's deal?
Does he have AIDS?
What's all this AIDS talk?
I would have done. They could eat like hot chile and not get burnt. No?
They're immune to capsaicin.
Right? One chip challenge. Oh man,
Please.
that's a good one, right? Immune to capsaicin.
And you throw capsaicin out of your hands. And
Oh.
Oh! Right here. You're immune to brain freeze.
Oh, that would be the other twins. So
They're the ultimate duel through fire and cold.
oh man, they'd be unstoppable, right?
With their sidekick Zonky. Man, so like I play a lot of video games. I'm a loser.
Man, I used to love playing video games. Like, I don't know why or what happened there. I just stopped.
I mean, you guys play a lot of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a classic, right?
Yeah, I think at a certain point, because yeah, me and Noah growing up, he would play all my video games, and I got him into it. And then there was a point where we'd play a lot together, and then we'd play Call of Duty, and I just couldn't keep up with him and his friends. So then they stopped inviting me. So I kind of just got fizzled out. And
Whatever, old man, we don't need you.
Yeah, and then
in our
once
party.
you don't, yeah, I just got worse and worse. What are you playing?
Man, you know what? Like I play a lot of old shit. Like I play a lot of Doom, a lot of the
Which
old
Doom?
Mario game, like the original one.
Really?
The first two, especially, or three, I guess. Yeah, they like it came out in the '90s. They were on the computer.
What do you play them on?
On the computer.
On this one?
Yeah, I have it on here, but I have a computer at home, and it runs better. So like I miss it.
Oh, one of
mainly
these
play
days
it
you
on
should
there.
bring this. Next Monday, I'll play it.
I have it on here.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Oh man, it's addicting. Like yeah, Doom is one of my favorite games ever. I can play it forever. I used to play it when I was little.
It's like Wolfenstein, huh?
Exactly.
But better?
It's the predecessor to Wolfenstein. It's the same guys that made Wolfenstein.
So which one's better, Wolfenstein or Doom?
I think Doom is better. It's like an updated, better version of Wolfenstein, and
Okay,
has a
so
better
Wolfenstein-
story. Because Wolfenstein
okay.
is like you're killing the Nazis. Right?
Yeah, and that one was first. So Doom.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But if you've played Wolfenstein, that's basically how Doom is.
Yeah, I remember them being the same, but I remember. I remember playing a lot of Wolfenstein and then seeing Doom, and yeah, it seemed the same. And you can beat it.
Yeah, I beat it. But it's tough. It's like it's very quick paced.
Yeah, I just
Very-
remember it's like wall or room after room, right?
Yeah, and then puzzles, and you gotta kill it, and there's zombies, and you gotta kill them quick. Like it's
Do you
very.
fight zombies?
Or not? Okay, not zombies. They're demons.
Demons, right?
Demons.
And what do you do? Shoot or?
You shoot them. We have melee weapon. You can punch them, chainsaw.
Oh
them,
yeah,
too.
you can do. You can get like brass knuckles and stuff.
Well, yeah, you have like a little fist with like a little ring with a spike, like one little, and you just.
And can you ever upgrade that or no?
No.
But you
But
could
you can
upgrade
get a chainsaw,
a knife.
not a knife. No, I mean there's mods for Doom, and that where they add stuff like that. But the original one, yeah, it's the punch, the chainsaw, and then guns.
And different kind of guns.
Different kind of guns. Yeah, so they have like pistol, shotgun, double-barreled shotgun. And then at the end, it becomes like crazy, like the plasma cannon. You have like these crazy fake guns, and then like the iconic weapon is like the strongest one is the BFG 9000, the big fucking gun 9000. And it's this giant thing that shoots like a ball of green that just destroys everything in sight.
And then is there a final boss? Is it like a big demon?
There's in
Oh,
the
no,
in the original one.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler! If you haven't, I know the game is new. It came out in '96, so some of you guys might not have gone around to your local GameStop. Now, I mean, it depends. Like in the first one has like episodes, and every episode has like a boss at the end. And so some of them, like in the first one, it's like these two big red demons with horns that walk around, almost like centaurs, but they're just on two legs. And one of them, it's like a giant spider brain thing that like walks around, almost like in Toy Story, that weird thing, something like that. So they get crazier and crazier with every episode.
How many levels or episodes? Do you remember?
Man, I think in the very first one, there's like 4 episodes.
Okay.
And then the second one has a couple more. And then the third one is like has a lot. And after that, I think that's when they started making like the newer ones where they're like
More up.
like
updated.
more modern games.
Yeah.
But those two were like, or those 3 were like the
good
original
ones.
gameplay. You know, like a Wolfenstein type.
From the AutoZone. Or was he wearing AutoZone or what was he wearing?
Right? Something.
Is that your friend?
No.
Yeah, you gotta tell him to stop coming around. We don't have time for this.
Right after hours, right?
He was cute.
Yeah, I remember playing Doom, Wolfenstein.
Quake is the one that came after Doom. Same
Oh,
guys that
shit.
made it.
Damn.
So yeah, it's a similar gameplay, but that one is more modern, a little bit more modern than Doom.
Can you play with a partner in Quake? Were there teams?
I think in Quake you can. I'm not too sure. I'm less familiar with Quake than I am with Doom.
'Cause, yeah, I remember people talking about Quake a lot and being addicted to it, and I swear they talk about having teams, but yeah, I don't know if that was around then. Like, when did Quake come out?
Man, late 90s, early 2000s. I'm not too sure.
Okay, so
year.
there probably wasn't. 'Cause
I mean, I
what-
think that sounds vaguely familiar. There might be like a deathmatch mode in Quake where you can fight against each other and you have teams and.
Because when did games start? I'm trying to think when were
Like the online stuff? Or,
yeah, when was online multiplayer online?
if I'm not mistaken, the first online console like that was the Dreamcast. And that came out in the 90s, no? Like late 90s? Maybe very early 2000s?
And Quake is more of a computer game.
Yeah. I might have been on console too, I'm not too sure, but it was on the computer.
Okay, so computer games you could play online, huh? They probably had the first capability before the Dreamcast, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah, probably.
Because I do remember my brother would play. It was kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons, like the dice, and
Yes.
it was everybody was playing and everybody was a separate character, but it didn't even have graphics. It would just be like a little letter, like a A, and you'd be walking through a maze of like other.
Was
like
it Dwarf Fortress?
I don't even remember what it was called, but yeah, it was like a Dungeons and Dragons, but the graphics had to be made with just like letters and with all the
Yeah, like
symbols.
the ASCII or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, all the symbols on the keyboard. But I do think other players were playing with you.
I mean, think people ever made like naked ladies with the @ and the 3s and the 2s and where they're like, oh fuck it. That was the
She's
first.
got big threes on her.
There's some great parentheses. Yeah, I wonder when that came around. I know Doom you couldn't play online like multiplayer.
Remember
like
the
that.
penis would be an 8, and then it went to equal signs, and then the capital D,
and the more equal signs, the better. Huh? Yeah.
like a long noodle, like a noodle dick with a big
Okay.
old head. And then the pussy would be like a parentheses.
A capital I and a close parenthesis. Fuck yeah, it's so awesome. The tits would be the parentheses with the bullet.
And now it just turned into the peach, right? The peaches for ass.
All right, the eggplant for the cock. But the tits are still the parentheses and the bullet.
Right? What do people use for the tits? Do they use anything?
The pair of cherries. I don't know. Right? Like,
Jugs? Is there jugs?
jugs. Jugs. Yeah, right. Yeah, because the ass, the dick. There's no pussy one either, huh?
The fish?
The fish. I guess you're right. Damn. The lingo.
Yeah, is there? There's not one, huh?
We gotta start one.
I gotta.
A fish. The taco.
The taco, right? Because even like the other one, I remember doing the the forward and the backward slash. You can get it to be the lady's legs open with the parentheses in the middle.
Damn. Now you're just getting clever, huh? Creative.
You can definitely jerk off to that with the legs there.
Oh, for sure. That's all I need. Just 2 stick figure legs.
What is that? 8-bit? No, that's even less. Huh? It's like that's 4-bit. Or is that even? That's not even. That would be 0-bit.
I think it's called ASCII.
ASCII is what.
Like with just like the where you create like images and stuff out of just text.
Yeah, it's just there's no computer graphics at all, huh?
Yeah,
What was Atari? Was that
wow, I don't know.
that be considered like a 2-bit?
I think it was 8-bit.
That's 8-bit,
I think it was 8-bit. I'm not too sure.
and that's way better than text, right? Than just ASCII.
I don't know. I really don't know how.
I don't think so. I mean, it looked the same, but the lines were connected, and you had little tanks and men and.
Yeah, it made pixels that were able to make some type of graphics.
Something.
Yeah, whereas like I don't know if it's the game that like you said your brother would play, but
Oh no, that was just that wasn't even.
yeah, it's how
8-bit.
Dwarf Fortress is. It's one like that where it's like a story and you do it, and yeah, it creates the image out of like text. It uses like letters and numbers to create a little pattern, little characters, and
Yeah, I remember a lot of games like that. Like even when it would be the introduction to the game, the game would be spelled with like a bunch of letters to make big letters. And how about that one with like the drag racing? Remember that one? And you were telling me about it, that the guy that claims to have the fastest
Dragster?
time. Is that letters or is it graphics?
it's graphics.
Oh, it is graphics. Okay, just really bad.
Yeah, but just super simple like that.
But it is some kind of graphic.
Yeah, that's funny. The dude that played Dragster and lied about the world record or whatever. Because yeah, that's like another thing that I'm really into. Is speedrunning, video games, and yeah, Doom is kind of where it started, because Doom was one of the first games where like at the end when you beat a level, it showed you your time, and it had like a par that you can like try to like as a challenge try to beat, and yeah, people try to. That's like the most popular speedrunning game is Doom.
Mario's before Nintendo Mario's before Doom, right?
Yeah, but I think Doom speedrunning came first, and then Mario's another one that's like probably the second biggest speedrunning.
Because that
game.
one does have a time. I remember when you would jump on the flag, wouldn't it give you more points for the time you had left?
Yeah.
So obviously that one was timed as well, right?
Yeah, there's even like a really like that flag. There's a really popular trick in that game where you can perfectly, at the end there's like a little staircase and then you jump to the flag. If you can jump perfectly and land, you hit the flagpole, but you land perfectly at the bottom, like where the flagpole ends, like at the last thing. You hit it and then like you don't waste a little time like where it goes down and it goes and you walk into the castle or whatever. Like it automatically you land and you just walk in. So like you save a couple of seconds.
So you don't jump on the flag? You miss the flag?
You hit the you hit the flagpole, but at the very bottom. So when he hits the bottom, he just instantly like walks to the castle without doing that little fanfare thing that wastes a couple of seconds. And if you do that on every level, you end up saving like 30 seconds in total, and that's enough to get you that's a long time in speedrunning.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Get a
That's
world
a
record.
difference. Yeah, for world records. Yeah, so you'd have to hit all of them.
Yeah, it's funny with that Dragster one. Yeah, that for the longest time he had like the record on Dragster, and when speedrunning got more popular and people started speedrunning like regularly, and a lot of people got into it, they realized that his time was impossible, because like the game counts. You can only win like in certain increments of time, because that's like the
way it counts.
the system that the game runs. Like it has like a minimum amount of frames that it runs every whatever the fuck. And his record that stood forever, like 20 years, was on it was off that.
Off.
And so they said that it's even if he was really good and got a fast score, that score is impossible. So he must be lying.
Oh, so who, they just took his word for it, or what? Or
Yeah, back then they used to just take your word for it. I swear to God.
Oh man.
There's even the dude who has another guy. I'm sure you've seen him. And for years he had the record on Pac-Man, the highest score ever. And yeah, the same thing. They found out he was a fraud. And now, like when you write about him, he sues you. And he has like long black hair. He looks almost like an older Chris Angel or something. And I forgot his name. The guy from Dragster is Todd Rogers, I think. The other guys, I forgot the other dude's name. But yeah, on that one too, they realized that his score was impossible. Like it didn't make sense, and then because I think they found the highest possible score, like the perfect score on Pac-Man, and his was higher. So it's like, that doesn't make sense. You can't.
So Pac-Man ends? It does end, huh?
Yeah, it ends. Well, it goes on forever, but there's a level to where the game can't load anymore. Because like it runs out of bits. Wow. And so like you can play a perfect game up until it's like the 256th level or something like that.
Damn, I've got to 255.
I'm so close.
Yeah, so close.
And then once you get to that, and you do that, the game freezes or it crashes. But yeah, you can reach like the highest possible score, and his was somehow higher. So people are like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Man, and people just take your word for it?
Yeah, back then people used to just take your word for
So
it.
somebody kind of just came and told him like, "Oh, I beat you by 2 points."
Yeah, like if you look at some of the super old Doom records, like Doom is the one that is most popularly speedrun. Some of the old records, there's no evidence for it. It's just the guy's name, his initials, and then the time. But now, in order to get on the leaderboards, you need like all this stuff. You need to provide like the specs of your system. You need to tell them if it's like the North American version, the Japanese version, and then you need a video. In the video, they analyze it. Like you can't tamper with it. There's no cuts. You need to have this and that. Sometimes you need to put like your inputs and like map them, and so like they could see that you did stuff that's humanly possible, and it's not
Okay,
like
yeah.
a computer doing it.
Oh man, because if you can hook up a computer to it, that would be the fastest.
And people
if
do
you
that.
have the right computer.
A good computer.
A good computer.
One that's fast.
I am fast.
Yeah, people do that. A lot of like it happens even nowadays. Like people will find out that a huge record was actually done by a computer. They call it a TAS, a tool-assisted speedrun. And so a computer like inputs frame perfect movements that like would be almost impossible. I mean, in theory possible, but almost impossible for a human to do perfectly every time.
Because like I swear, the Mortal Kombat, the computer does stuff you can't do.
Yeah, exactly. It's like frame perfect.
You think it's frame perfect, or you think if the computer does it, it's possible?
It's possible, but
think?
it's hard. You have to be perfect.
You think? Oh wow, I always thought it was cheating.
No, I think you can do that, but yeah, it's like it's frame perfect every time. Like man, like good luck having a human perform that. I mean, it's possible, yeah, and you might every now and then with enough practice hit a perfect run like that, but
Nice.
it's tough. Yeah, but it's interesting. It's interesting how they figure out that people are cheats. Like they'll realize that something they did or some score they got or some combination is technically impossible with the game's code. So if you have that in your run, you did something that isn't natural. Like you fucked with the game.
No, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you're not going by the. Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah, there's
understand.
even some I've seen where like they'll turn the whole video into an audio like spectrum where you could see all the waves, and sometimes people like they'll play like 3 or 4 different runs, and like they have a good beginning run on this one and then a good ending run on this one, so they'll splice them together and make like this perfect run, but it wasn't done in one run. Like it's a bunch of runs that they put together, and yeah, you can't do that. It has to be one run in a speed run.
Oh yeah, it
you
has to
can't
be.
do that.
Yeah, so when they're doing that, how are they timing it?
They just try to splice it as good as they can, and sometimes it's so good that it's hard to tell. But that's another way they find it. Like they'll turn the video, their speedrun video, into a audio spectrum, and they'll follow the waves, and all of a sudden there's like an abrupt cut. And when they see that,
They know it's been cut.
they know it's been spliced together.
But that's what I'm saying. The guy that's splicing it, obviously, like his time wouldn't make sense. Or if it's not timed, like the computer did, like you would be timing it like on a stopwatch or something, or
Yeah, a lot of times like they'll do it where like they'll have a
the-
timer on screen that they add, and it's going.
after they've
Or even
spliced it.
during they're doing it. But yeah, but in those cases they'll add it after they spliced it, and then yeah, it'll be like tenths of a second better than the world record, so they get the world record. But
But it's not correct.
yeah, it's not a real record. They cheated. Yeah, it's a crazy. The speedrunning like community is crazy. Like there are some really
So you think if
talented-
you're the champion with the highest record, they would call you like, "Oh, your record's been beat. We still got to verify it." So all day you'd be nervous, like waiting. Like
I'm
"Man,
sure,
they're still
right?
gonna verify that. And then they would call you like, "It was a fraud. You're still number one."
Yes. Right, you start taking the noose off your neck. Oh, thank God.
Like we're not really too competitive here with the games here, huh? Like nobody's trying to beat. For a while, we were trying to get the best beer. What's the beer one? The server where you're serving the beers. Have you seen it?
Root beer tapper.
Root beer tapper. Right? For a while, we were all trying to get a high score, but it didn't get too competitive.
Yeah, Alex was like the main one, and then Pablo comes, and in one day he beats all of Alex's scores.
Right? Yeah, and then I couldn't even touch them. But I didn't play it so much, but still, it was.
You guys get competitive with the Mortal Kombat though,
No, yeah, we're competitive with that, but nobody's trying to get.
like a higher score. Or...
Yeah, a high score. And it's just, fighting each other. Like, you just want to be the best. Well, I guess the win streaks, huh?
The win streaks.
Man, but Noah's his win streak won't be touched by anybody.
There's someone that's on top, if you've noticed. Someone that spliced together a fake fucking speed run. Huh?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, we all know that's not real.
Yeah, we all know that. You don't even have to question it.
Yeah,
See the initials? Yeah, like I didn't do that.
and that takes away from.
Yeah, that's like it's like grounds for like
Right? Getting your finger smashed.
getting your left hand smashed in. I do have the highest score on Joust out of all of us though.
Joust? Oh man, I don't really play it too much.
It's hard.
It's hard, huh?
It's fucking hard. That's a cool one though, because you got to be really precise with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember playing that when I was young. Like at the arcades. What's you're just trying to hit the other guy and then you get the egg or something, huh?
Yeah, you're like on like these weird ostrich things that like run really fast and they fly, and you have like a
Yeah.
jousting, and there's a bunch of people, and you have to, when you hit, whoever is higher
Yeah.
wins.
Whoever's higher wins.
So like you guys have like a hit box, like a so yeah,
And then they drop an egg, right?
they drop an egg, and like if you don't get the egg, it'll lay again, like in
it's
time,
another
and then
person.
the enemy will come back and respond. So you have to catch the egg before, while at the same time also dodging the rest of the dudes and still trying to
Right.
joust them.
I'm gonna beat your score by next week.
Damn.
You play a lot?
It's on. No, not too often, but every now and then I'll get on and I'll do a couple of
Joust.
rounds. I'll joust it up.
Paperboy, it's kind of fun,
Man,
but
Paperboy is hard. It frustrates me. I don't even play it.
I think I'm just trying to get further in it, so I won't even throw the papers in the houses. Because at the end of
You
the
just
end-
ride through the level
at the first level after the neighborhood, there's like a little
like a little obstacle course. huh?
obstacle course. Yeah, that's kind of fun. So I'm just trying to get there and
I've never
shred
even
it.
beat that first level.
No? Have you got to the obstacle course though?
Yeah. What about tubing?
No, I don't play it. It's kind of hard.
It's hard. I do like that other one too. Bubbles,
What do you do on that one?
and you're like a little bubble, and you're cleaning up the sink. And you have to hit stuff that's littler than you. And the bigger you are, the bigger enemies you can clean up. And you have to do that before before you get popped, before your bubble pops, or before the sink turns on and washes you guys down the drain.
And how do they pop you? A bigger bubble will pop you?
A bigger piece of debris will pop you if it's bigger than you. And then there's some items that are just sharp and will always pop you.
Man, Noah a couple years ago was playing a game like that. It was like on the computer and it was just circles. And if you were bigger and you touched somebody, you would eat them. And if you were smaller, they'd eat you. But if you were smaller, you were faster. So then,
It was just circles?
just circles on a map. And you would try and team up with people, and he would do that. He would team up with people, and like so, a big guy could kind of protect you, but then you're faster, and then the more people you start eating, you start getting so big. So after a while, like if you got really big, you'd be slow, but nobody can eat you.
So you're just there all huge?
Yeah, just a big circle, just going around slow, but everybody be running from you. But it took forever to get that big because you had to be eating. Yeah,
That's
crazy
cool.
concept, but yeah, it was really competitive and like, yeah, you'd be running for your life against bigger circles.
Have you ever heard of a game called Spore?
Yeah.
You make a life form, and like you could add different traits, different parts, different ways of movement, different all this and that, and you just have to make a life form that survives and evolves through time and make a civilization. And at the first stage of the game, you're like microscopic bacteria, and it's like that. Like you have to eat stuff and get bigger.
How old is the game?
It's old, like maybe like 2005 or something.
For what? Computer?
It's on the computer. And yeah, it's the same thing. Like you have to eat little ones, and yeah, you get slower as you get bigger, but bigger things could eat you. But like it's all like different little like bacteria.
And then once you get so big, you've evolved.
Yeah, you evolve, and at some point you get to like where you're like on land, and then from there that's when like.
Oh
you
man,
start
how long
adding-
does that take?
Takes a while, not too long, but I mean it like
Where are you at now? You're a bird.
Oh man, I have my gang of feline.
Oh yeah, you turned to a cat.
No, that game's hard. I've never gone too far in it.
No? Oh man.
I've gone to the land stage. I've never gone to where I'm like an intelligent being, like making a.
How big do you think the game is? Like it gets big, like
Yeah, eventually it becomes like Sims, where like you're big and like you can make like a civilization and.
Oh wow. That seems like a deep.
Yeah, it's cool. Spore. You should check it out. Really cool game.
I like more puzzle games, I guess. I'm always a fan of like puzzle, trying to solve things. Keep the mind.
For sure, right?
Yeah, I think I'm better at that than like shooting and aiming and.
Quick reflexes or.
Especially playing Call of Duty because everybody uses that. Oh, like Noah will set up his guy super fast. And when I'll try and use it that fast, like, oh, it's just moving.
Just like,
yeah,
it's
it's moving.
You're all dizzy.
Yes, every time I see some guy, you see each other both. And then, yeah, they just pull up the gun and shoot you or shoot me so fast that I can barely even aim at them.
Yeah, there's people that like quick scope. Have you seen it? Like they'll
Yeah,
aim with
yeah.
the scope and they just like they don't even look. They just put it up and then they get your ass. And then,
Yeah. Yeah, I never got to.
You were never a camper. You just stood in a corner and waited till someone walked by you and stab them.
Yeah, I would
Hide in
try
the
that,
corner.
but they would still get me. Like, and I would look on their screen or something, and I can see me sitting there, and somebody comes from behind me.
You're like, oh, fuck.
Because yeah, I'd be like facing the wall, like running, but where he's not running.
It's like moving in nowhere, but just up against the wall. You're looking at the wrong screen. I'm doing good, guys. And your
With
character's
my
just-
canteens out instead of a knife, right? Like,
When you see someone, right, you just throw water on them, blow your brains out. That's like that game I always tell you about, Portal. Probably my favorite game ever. Nah, I think you'd like it. It's like really, like it.
puzzle.
It's a straight up puzzle game. Like and the puzzles are really creative. Like you have to think in really weird ways, and it's like physics based, and they talk about like artificial intelligence and the meaning of life. And
But you can't get it for your phone, though, right?
I don't know. They made it for console. I don't know if you can get it on your phone. Yeah, it's really cool. Like one of the most thought provoking games I've ever played.
Yeah, I'll look for it. I'll see if it's on the phone.
I think I'm gonna play it tonight when I get home. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm replaying the.
And you beat it all the
first
time?
two. I've beat it. I'm replaying the first, the second one. I mean. Yeah, because the first one, you can beat it if you just play it all the way through. You can beat it in less than an hour, the whole thing. But the second one is long. It'll take you hours to beat it. Once you speed run it, there's people that beat it in like 6 minutes. Like, oh, fuck you. Like,
Damn.
but yeah, it's really interesting. There's a part where. Spoilers. There's a part where you're trying to escape, and the main evil AI that you're up against, you transfer its like brain and control of the facility with another little robot drone thing that you found that's trying to help you get out. And he's like an idiot. And when you put him in there, all of a sudden he has all the capabilities that the AI did. So he's like, all of a sudden he's really smart. All of a sudden he has power. He controls the whole facility.
And he lets you out?
And he goes mad with power. Like, you and him are both trying to get out. And he's like, put me in. Like, I can, like, open the gates and we can get the fuck out of here. When he does, he's like, this feels so good. And he starts to, like, get, like, a human, like...
And does he goes against you?
And he goes against you. And all of a sudden, he's like, you know what? Like, I'm the one that did this. Like, look what I can do. You're just a burden on me. You're using me. And I think you're plotting against me. How do I know you're not going to do it? And he throws you back into the thing. And now you have to face him. And outsmart and beat him.
Damn.
Yeah, it's cool how it shows like a change of heart and like
Yeah, change of...
like an artificial intelligence gaining this and having emotions, and like his emotions get the better of him over his logic, and he becomes like mad with power.
Like if you don't believe in aliens or nothing, do you? You said no.
Like, I believe they're out there, but I don't think they're
Okay,
here.
you do? You think they play video games? Where they fight humans?
What are those things dead? It's just us in a Volkswagen. Oh my god, kill it!
Shoot it!
Shoot. Right? That's... Oh my god, they have 5 fingers. Get them, kill them. It's horrible.
Look at their made-up technology, right?
Like they have like weird ray guns, and we have a shotgun.
And they want the shotgun. At the end of the game, you get the shotgun.
And you're like, wow, what is
The
this?
chainsaw.
The chainsaw. The bow staff.
Right? Do you think they would have video games or?
And who knows how different they are, but I'm sure they have ways of like,
Entertainment.
yeah, if they have some type of human-like intelligence. I don't know what other types of intelligence there are, like super intelligence, but if it's a human-like, yeah, I'm sure they entertain themselves.
Or an AI. If you could have an AI write use synopsis for video games, would it ever create one where it saw humans the way? Because AI is always bad, whether they're in the tattoo shop or in the video game, right?
Hey, fuck you.
Always up to no good, right?
I'm a real boy.
That's funny because speaking of speedrunning and stuff, I watch like a lot of speedrunning videos on YouTube and stuff. And today I saw one, and it was a channel I watched where he talks about speedrunning games like frauds, stuff like that. And I guess for years it was in the Guinness World Records, the fastest typist ever, and it was some lady named like Deborah something, like some older lady or something, yeah, something like that. And she had like it was like 215 words per minute sustained for like 30 seconds or something.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, for years, until recently, she was considered the greatest of all time, and people have beat her at her records now, but like she was like the first one to really do it. Turns out she was a fraud.
Was she? Damn.
And like she comes out, and on the video he shows why and why he thinks she was a fraud. But yeah, she comes out on like David Letterman like a long time ago, and they make her do like some typing thing, and yeah, she sucks. Like she does like 70 words per minute.
Wow.
And she can't do it. And there's all these other things, and it turns out that she was friends with the dude who invented that specific type of typewriter she used. And so like that was the speculation on the video, that they like got together and their plan was to be like, oh, she's the best to bring like attention to that new typewriter technology or whatever that they used.
What do you think about that? Because I've read it puts the letters that are used more frequently closer.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you think if it was just A, B, C, D? I mean, either way you would kind of know where things were, right? Like,
yeah, it's weird.
Like, yeah, you're having to relearn them.
Yeah, right. Like I already know them this way. So it'd be like A, Z, J, T, B. So like I feel like it'd be a little easier. But
yeah, like you already knew them in order, so you look right. Like you're having to relearn everything.
You know what? Yeah, just looking at the QWERTY, like the middle ones are like what, J and H or G and J or whatever, and then like A and O are like over here. Like those are probably like some of the most popular. E is the most useful. It's like up here. Why wouldn't it be like the vowels in the middle? Right? It seems kind of weird. I mean, I'm used to it already, but
Can you type without looking at it?
no. I mean, I can, but it won't be. I'll make mistakes.
People can do that, huh? That's nuts. Talk about feeling, right? Look at the room for error. There's not a lot of room for error, especially with no spell check. Like on a typewriter. I mean, people are doing that on the typewriters, right?
Yeah, it's insane. Like, yeah, you can't go back in backspace. It's putting it with ink. Like,
That just shows you you put your mind to something, your mind can pick up. Because that's how many?
Muscle memory. Yeah, because I can
32 letters?
26.
26.
I think 32 is a teeth.
Yeah, he's got those mixed up.
Teeth and the alphabet.
Teeth and the alphabet.
Is there 12 numbers on the clock, or is it 12 fingers? I can't remember. I get those confused all the time.
But yeah, that's a lot. 26 plus.
What's the numbers plus tab,
Plus the
backspace,
space,
A.
plus all that. Yeah.
And you know what? Like, I know, like, I took like keyboarding in school, and like I know that they kind of teach you like how to do it, and I kind of know how to do it, but I kind of just free for all. Like, I use both my hands, and I'm like just kind of aware of like, so I use my eyes so I can kind of like type pretty quick
I still do that.
with one hand.
But I kind of know where everything's at, so I'm really fast.
Yeah, I'm pretty fast, but yeah, I don't use like the conventional like yeah, if I close my eyes, I can't be like, oh, like E is here, this is. I kind of just like a little bit of muscle memory, where it's at. But I have to see it. I can't just do it with my eyes closed.
I remember when I was taking computer something, we would play this game, and you were a car, and you'd be racing the computer, but you were only as fast as you can type the words.
Oh yeah, I used to play something like that too. But ours was like you were a spaceship, and you had to shoot the asteroids as they were coming, and yeah, you had to shoot them. Like when they would come up, it would be a word, and you have to type the word, and you shoot it.
Man, these guys know how to take the fun out of games, though.
Right? It's like the zonky version of or what is it, the hiney version of the game,
Right.
All the shitty parts of the game and none of the fun.
None of the fun. Man, and then even the phone kept it, right? The phone has that keyword or the keyboard.
Man, I remember I got used to like when it was just like the phone, and like 2 had like A, B, C, D, 3 had E, F, whatever the fuck. So you'd have to like
3 times.
yeah, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 1.
Yeah.
Man, I remember I was really good at that. Like I just
Yeah, right. Yeah, you'll pick it up. And why doesn't it start with A, right? A doesn't have any letters. Or no, one.
one has like the symbol, no, like it has like period, question mark, exclamation point, or something like that.
Yeah, even on the old school phones. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, like on the computer, I'm used to playing with like a mouse on one hand, and then on this hand the WASD. That's how most games on the computer. I mean, it depends on the game, but
Man, that seems so awkward.
I guess it sounds awkward, but man, it just feels so natural to me.
Yeah?
What I do.
Now, because you played it so much.
Yeah, like when I play a game with like a controller, it feels weird. I'm like, wow, this is so like inefficient. Like, give me a mouse and a.
Damn, so you play Doom like that?
Mhm.
Call of Duty, you would play like that?
Yeah, all those Portal, all those games I play like that. And so when I play like that, I can like it's like WASD to move. Maybe E will be like your inventory, R to reload, Q for something, Z for something else.
Oh,
When
man.
I play like that, I don't have to look. I'm like so used to it.
Damn, you can reload, go through your items, and do. Damn, see, every time I would play games like that, I'd sit there and, just looking, and yeah, it'd be so awkward. It's funny, too, because the Atari was a joystick with 1 button.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo came out and they gave you 2 buttons with a directional pad, and you were just blown away with 2 buttons.
Oh shit! What is this madness?
And then you'd get the 4 buttons. And then you started getting the side control buttons, and then now you got like the little joysticks, which are also buttons, the 4 buttons, the up and down, and like you got so many. Sometimes even start or select changes like certain things, and that's part of it too.
Yeah, right. And then it went to the Wii where you could move it. And now it's just a fucking thing where I'm just feeling tits in a fake world. I wonder what's next.
Just your mind, it'll just be something in your mind, and you'll be.
Yeah, you just start something and then you just close your eyes and then you just fucking play. Yeah.
Kind of like life, right? Life's a simulation.
Yeah, at the end, we're gonna be here doing this, but we're actually both at home, just like thinking about it, sitting on the toilet.
Right?
We're recording from inside the Matrix.
Matrix. You think we're living in the Matrix?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had to bet money, I would say no.
No.
But I've heard some pretty compelling arguments.
Yeah.
I think we talked about a few of them on here, right? Like there's what's called the simulation argument. I don't know what it's called. Where we're already almost there, but we can almost simulate like the universe and computers and see how like stars. Like we input like the movement and their mass, and we can kind of do like a simulation. So eventually, simulations are gonna get better and better and better to where we can simulate entire universes with life in it and whatever. And so once we're able to do that, or any other life out there, they're gonna get to the point where they can do like millions or billions, and possibly billions a second. And so, if with all those billions and billions, trillions of simulations of universes, what are the chance? What's more likely, that we're one of those millions, trillions, billions, or we're the one true reality that exists outside of those simulations? So it seems like, yeah, there's like so many simulations and just one. Chances are you're more than likely in one of the billions, but yeah, I don't know. I think this is the real reality, but
Yeah, for the time being, right? Yeah, for the time being, it's the reality we're in. No arguing about that. So if you believe in a simulation, there has to be something above it, right?
what is that?
Yeah or no?
I mean, yeah, something must have created it. Whether it's a god or just another species, or
Yeah, exactly. Just something above, something different.
damn. So you're saying, damn, you just caught me then. Because if I think it's likely we live in the simulation, then that means it's likely there's a creator
Oh, the simulation, right?
of the simulation.
But you say you don't believe in a simulation. But you've heard
Yeah,
compelling.
And even if I did, and we are, like, I did believe there is a creator of the simulation. At some point, there's still like the real reality, and I think in that reality, there's probably not a creator.
Oh, wow.
Because if I think this is the real reality, I don't think there's a creator. But if we made a bunch of simulations, yeah, we created those, so we're the creator of those. But ultimately, at the end of the...
So that's what I'm saying. If it goes infinite that way, why wouldn't it go infinite the other way too?
What do you mean the other way?
Yeah, as far as we're being created and then, oh, something created that, or...
Yeah, I just think at some point, like, there had to have been, like...
Nothing.
Or not even nothing, but just like the... Like, who created God? Oh, super God. Who created super God? Super God. Like, I think you could just keep going. At some point, there has to be, like, a...
Well, and that's what religion says, that there is one that has always been.
And that's the absolute, that's the end-all, be-all. No, but then what created that? It's just always been.
Always been, yeah. That's always been.
That's where it gets, like, yeah, philosophical, tricky. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the same as the universe. Like, oh, what, the
Yeah,
Big
you could
Bang.
say maybe, like, the universe has always been, or the laws of physics have always been, or, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's hard to say. I remember seeing some... Man, I'm going to send it to you. There's a really, really good YouTube video, and it's like a panel of people from... I don't know if I told you about it or not. It's a panel of a bunch of different people from different fields. So there's like a philosopher there, a mathematician. Neil deGrasse Tyson is the host. There's
Vikings? Any Vikings?
Vikings on there.
Yes.
They have a zonkey there. A half red ant, half black ant.
A centaur.
A centaur. A demon from Doom.
A lawyer.
A baker.
The baker.
And then, yeah, they have like another physicist, all these different people, a neuroscientist, whatever. And
Some dude that's just really high.
a winemaker. But yeah, they have them all there, and they're talking about nothingness.
Some girl that won't get brain freeze.
Oh, man. And another one that always gets brain freeze. They have an AI. The steel sock makes an appearance.
No, sorry. So they're what?
I think Mondo was there. I mean, they're talking about nothingness and what that means, where it came from, if that's real, like just all this shit about it. And everyone's talking about how, like the mathematician's talking about how, I forgot who was the Arabic they invented. I think it was the Arabs. They invented the number 0. And before that wasn't even a thing, a concept that people thought of. Like, what do you mean, like, nothing, like, no number? that they created the number 0 to use for transactions and each one is talking about different stuff. The biologist guy or the neuroscientist talking about how once the brain is dead, there's nothingness and what that means, and really interesting like points of view. But there's like a philosopher science guy, and he's really like a what's that word? Like he's very like he's a character. He's very what's that word? Like eccentric, I guess. And it just sounded so stupid when I first heard it, but the more I thought of it, the more it made sense to me. But they asked him like, "What's nothing?" And he's like, "Nothing. It's I can't even describe it because it's not there. It's literally not there. That's what nothing means." He's like, he said, "Nothing is like telling me what does this look like." And he's like, "You can't even say like, oh, it's black. Oh, it's missing this." He's like, it doesn't even exist. Like there is no vision back there." And it sounded so arbitrary, but I like the way he put that definition of nothing. Like it's not there. So that makes me think about why is there something rather than nothing? If there was nothing, it wouldn't even be there. Like just a weird, yeah. And then they get into the discussion of why is there something rather than nothing. But I don't know why him saying that, like it's not even there, always stuck with me. When I think of 0 or like nothingness or not existing.
Yeah, the nothingness, and that's I mean, is that what you believe happened before the Big Bang? There was nothing.
I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, because there's not even like any way to.
Because that wouldn't make sense if they said there was nothing and then there was the Big Bang. It's like that's according to that nothing.
Yeah, because if there was nothing before, then there was nothing. There was nothing there. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's weird. I don't.
No, if there was something there, then all right, then it wasn't nothing. There was something.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing. Yeah, I really don't think we really understand that. Well, I mean, I guess we do understand that concept, but on a different level. I guess, yeah, as a form of quantity, right? Like, oh, go get me that from the drawer. Oh, there's nothing there. Doesn't mean there was nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like there was like 1 minus 1 item, or
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
it's counting. But as far as like reality, nothingness. As long as we have a brain and can think, yeah, that we cannot comprehend that. Even when you close your eyes, like, what do you see? Nothing. But it's like, no, you still see.
Yeah, I mean, I guess black or right, like even that's something like that.
Yeah,
or like little patterns or.
Yeah, you can give it a name, or you're seeing. Yes, there's vision, or there's.
Yeah, something. Yeah. And I think when you walk out of the shop and you go home, and you don't see the shop anymore, and no one's here, and you think the shop stops existing.
I mean, yeah, I've thought of that. In my mind, it does, right?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Things only exist once I interact with them.
Like you or anything?
Well, from my point of view, I mean, obviously you still exist because you go home, you do stuff, and you come back with stories or whatever.
Do I?
But yeah, you only do when you tell me, right? From my perspective.
Yeah, for all you know, I'm just like a philosophical zombie, just
Yeah, you disappear.
and just show up with these random things to trick you.
Right. Probably live in a little snow biz thing, right?
I thought I saw a bunch of cats around there.
No, yeah, as far as the information that's coming, the light, right? The light that comes into you. That's what I was saying, like, could you move your head so fast that you can look at nothing and have everything? Like, if you moved faster than...
How do you look at nothing if it's not there?
Like, if you moved your head faster than the speed of light, would that be... Right? Like, the vision works from light entering your eyes. And obviously that takes... I mean, it's very, very quick, but obviously takes time, right? There's obviously some kind of delay.
Yeah, it's not instant.
It's not instant. So if you moved your head faster than that process, what would you see? Or I've tried. I hurt my neck. I was getting close, like it was blurry, but then I hurt my neck, so I stopped.